Hi. A couple days ago, I posted a meme that said, don't stress, God will get you through this. God, kind of one of those like God quotes. I post those things in relationship to recovery, in relationship to the alcoholic addict who's still suffering, the families who are losing people that are in very difficult times and don't know how they're going to get better. And it just so happens that that disease and that pandemic, I call it, parallels with the pandemic of the COVID-19. And so, people are really struggling. And so my memes seem really apropos to both pandemics. And yes, I think that the addiction world, the problem with alcoholism that we have in this country, in this world, is a pandemic. It's just not getting the attention the other one gets. Someone said to me, well, how can so many people have died. Where was God then? From this virus. Maybe from the drug and alcohol pandemic. Not sure what they were referring to, but I think in general it means, where is God when all these people are dying? And that's a great question. That is an old question. I remember when I was a little girl in church, my father was a minister, and I remember asking my mother that, then why do bad things happen to good people if there's a God? And the thing is that we live in a world, period. We live in a world where people are born and people die. We are all going to die. There's no getting out of it. I'm sorry. We don't know how we're going to die. We don't know if we're going to die useful, happy people, comfortable in our home, dying of old age, maybe falling asleep in front of Jeopardy. That'd be nice. We don't know how we're going to die. And a lot of people die in very brutal and horrible ways. Some are very tragic. Cancer takes people. Alcoholism addiction takes people. The flu takes people. Some people get murdered and are in car accidents. And there's all sorts of ways people die. And that is life. That is how things happen. God didn't make it to where he put people on the planet and then we live forever. That's it. According to the Bible, we all have free will. So, you know what I mean? This planet exists on its own. If you don't believe in God at all, the creative intelligence, the science of it all would tell you. Just like there's hurricanes and, there's tornadoes and volcanoes, and this is a vibrant, living thing. We live on Earth, right? The good and the bad. The butterflies, the locusts, right? There's a balancing out process there. There's a shift to life that is beyond our control, right? Just like this pandemic is a force of nature. It really is. It's a force of nature. So there are those things that we are not all powerful. Nature and the creative intelligence, whatever you call that, is the primary power, right, of the universe. And we are just little people along for the ride. Just like the bunny rabbits you see and the deer and, the bear. We are just on the planet enjoying the planet, right? We are more complex people. We are very complicated, and we think we dominate everything, and we're the end all and be all. And obviously, nature is, checkerboard square, as they say in prison. That's what they say in prison, checkerboard square. Nature is kind of putting us in our place, right? And I think we needed it. So the concept of that creative force is what I need to respect and understand. Shit is gonna happen. I got nothing to do with it. right? There's shit going on this planet right now that I don't know anything about, and thank God I don't. None of my business. I mean, there's some shit going on all over. I think I know everything, but I don't. I know what's in my little world, and I'm trying to make my little world better. So, how do you live on a planet like this that's so volatile and so out of control? When the very thing, your ego makes you think you have control and that you are in charge and you get to call the shots, right? You disturb that ego and it gets uncomfortable, right? Wacky. That's why so many people are freaking out right now. They're out of control. They have no control over what's happening, right? Even the people that don't believe the pandemic is really real, they think it's some media made up bullshit from China or whatever the deal is. I don't know what people think. But whatever it is, whatever camp you're in, you're feeling uncomfortable and out of control. And your ego is being affected. The fear of economic insecurity, fear of your, relationships. Everyone at home is like cooped up in a house and you're not getting along. So there's sex relations that are being fucked with. There are, family and your health, right? The fear of death and dying, even though we're all going to die. There's a fear, right? We're not ready to go yet. How do we deal with that? How does a person like me, especially someone with alcoholism, with any kind of mental illness, with insecurities, with trauma, whatever it is that you got in your bag of tricks, how are you going to deal with life on life's terms? You are going to have to get a relationship with this creative intelligence. You can either fight against it and be miserable and uncomfortable, or you can trust the process of the creative intelligence. I mean, if you look at everything, like right now, here I am, and I wonder if I can turn this around. I don't know if I can. I'll turn my phone around, but right now I'm in Palm Springs, right? Gosh, I don't know what I did. There, is that better? I'm in Palm Springs, and so I'm looking at palm trees and green. I'm looking at lots of green, beautiful butterflies flying around, lots of like beautiful, bright colored flowers. You see that? I mean, the car's dirty, but you get the point, right? Every window is this beautiful view, right? I live on this planet that's all operating without me. Wow, I'm playing around with my phone now. I didn't know it could do this. Oh, let's see if I can get the right, there. Everything is happening without me. Those pink flowers I just showed you on the side of the car, I don't know, can you see them with the sun? I don't know if you can even see those. Those bloomed without me knowing. They're blooming, they grow, they die, the petals drop. You know what I mean? The trees are all doing their thing without me. The only thing I'm doing right now is controlling my camera, not very well. So there's this whole thing that's going on, and it's got nothing to do with me. And it seems to be going really, really well. The problems in my life seem to be when I'm in charge of it, right? Like this camera that I can't get it to go back to normal, and I look like the Walking Dead. So I have to trust the higher power. I have to trust that God isn't taking people out. People are being taken out, period. This is science. This is the world we live in. This is the creative. This is what happens in the world if you get sick. So because we're smart people, okay, you don't want to get sick, you don't want to go out this way, do this. some people are still gonna, still gonna do that. Just like some people get cancer, and some people, there's all sorts of way people go. And it's not so much that I can change that because I'm powerless, but I can ask for some kind of higher power to help me deal with it. How can I get through this better and help the human race and the planet? How can I add to the stream of life and not fight against it? There are people, you can see people, and people, one of the most tragic things I think that could ever happen to someone is when someone loses a child. And you see someone lose a child, and some people, it will destroy the marriage and it'll destroy the person. And you see other people lose a child, and they create a fund or a cause, right? So other people's children can get help from the whatever killed their child, right? They form a support group for other parents that have lost children, right? They have donated organs to others so other children can live. Do you see what I mean? There's different ways you can deal with life. That's what God is for. That's what your belief in some kind of creative intelligence is. That I can't stop my child from dying from this disease. If it's leukemia or whatever it is, I can't stop my husband from getting in a car accident that killed him. I can't stop my sister from drinking herself to death, right? But what I can do is use the experience to help as many people as I can, to try to help the human race, right? To try to help the planet. That, I think, is what God is for. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. You get to decide how you're going to deal with this pandemic. You get to decide. Are you going to be helpful and try to go along? Wear your mask, your gloves, stay in the house, wash your hands, be kind to people, see if you can help others that need help, and we're all going to get through this together? Or are you going to be a asshole? Blame God, blame everybody, blame the government, blame the president, blame the Democrats, blame the Republicans, blame the Chinese. Are we just blaming and making things worse, or are we going to be better? Are we going to be better people? See, this is where you get to pull your inner strength out. I believe that the creative intelligence is in all of us. And it doesn't take a seminar or a workshop. All it takes is a shift of your perception, a change in your mind. And it doesn't even take a big shift, a little shift, a little open-mindedness and willingness. It has made a huge difference in my life to take a new idea in that's not mine. It's changed my entire world, and therefore has changed my family's world. It has made everybody that comes in contact with me, even at Starbucks or at Walmart, everybody that comes in contact with me's life is a little better because I have shifted my perception just a little. Think about that. It's not so much what happens to you in life, it's how you react to it. That is God.